Hello and welcome to my world. My name is Kevin Darling, and today we need to talk about Anthony Quintal.
Through man, through my same-sex attraction, through the pursuance of my same-sex attraction, through all of these things, eventually I submitted, surrendered, and I was reunited with my creator. And I was showed that I had no ultimate authority, showed that I am his creature.
Creature.
All this time, I was, like I said, trying to fit a circle into a square, trying to find...
Let me preface this by basically explaining my history with Anthony. Okay, when I put it that way, it sounds like I know him. I do not know Anthony. I don't know Lohanthony. I never got a good vibe from him since the beginning. I know people always say, like, when some shit happens, they're like, oh, I didn't really feel it. I didn't really like him, okay? I thought he was cute. He was like, you know, people love that he's this, like, big gay savior kind of thing. He's a big icon in the gay community, on YouTube especially. Great. Love that for him. Very nice. Beautiful. Lovely. My problem is, ever since 2013 when he first came up and he was doing Lohanthony's video of the week, I just felt this, like, negativity from him, okay? And I feel like all of us, like, gays especially, like, we're very petty and, like, bitchy and, like, whatever. It's just an image, right? I don't even know why we are this way in the community, but it's something just came off as malicious, and not in like a I think he like strangles babies and like skins people alive way, but just like he's a clout chaser. He seems like a clout chaser, and not in the best possible ways, just in the ways where he just wants to attack people for no reason. Point in case, when Vine was a thing, he liked like a really obscure Viner. Like, he liked one of their vines, and I randomly was just like scrolling through my like what you would consider For You nowadays, the For You kind of thing on Vine, and I saw this random ass tweet from like a nobody, and I saw Anthony liked it, so I commented on it, and I was like, I just like sent the like eyes emoji, I commented, I tagged Lohanthony, right? Just like I was just like, wow, I see you, you know, kind of thing. And he commented something really rude, like, yeah, bitch, like, I hate you, or something like, yeah, so what, bitch, like, what's the problem? 2 eye emojis, because back in the day, I was doing that, girl, before everybody else was doing that. I was the real hipster with the eye emojis, peeping everybody. He replies to me, which, like, you never expect from, like, a celebrity, even though he was, like, a D-lister. He replied, and he was like, why are you being, like, why are you watching my shit, bitch? Like, why are you, like, he said something rude. Like, and so? Some stupid shit. And I was just like, that rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, Lohanthony's video of the week. Like, you want to tear me down, huh? Now, fast forward to present day. It's been a couple years since that Vine incident. And I'm not surprised. This boy did a switcheroo. He's 180'd. And prefacing this entire discussion about what he's doing right now, I have to say, girl, I don't know if he got conversion therapy. I'm going to argue what I'm going to argue based off of the assumption that he didn't get conversion therapy, because that's not proven. People are saying, you know, be sensitive with Anthony, be sensitive with the way in which he's discussing queerness and gayness in terms of religion, because he may have gotten conversion therapy. Girl, there's no proof. There's no evidence. So until we get evidence and proof that this boy went through a traumatic conversion therapy, I'm going to go off of what we currently know, which is he's just spewing real shit right now that's harmful. And I'm gonna explain why people do these things. Why, when people find religion, especially gay people or people who are queer in the LGBT community, once they seek religion, why they go about defacing and distancing themselves from who they really were. It's all about shame and internalized stigma and trauma, but we're gonna touch on that later. Whew, we got a lot to go through, girls. So back to this timeline thing. The tea is Anthony. After, I don't know what happened, he might have felt as though what his career on YouTube, or his career from Vine to YouTube, or whatever the hell you want to consider where he started, where it led to in recent days, maybe in the past year or two, before he started all this like random ass like IKEA color code card thing with the paint. What? Like, I don't even know, the motivational shit. Which I think is really cute and wholesome, I do, okay? I'm not knocking that. It was very obnoxious, but I'm not knocking that. back before he was doing that, I feel like he maybe felt as though he was flopping, he wasn't getting enough clout, maybe his name faded, he wasn't doing what he felt he needed to do to have his name out there, be that Anthony, that Lohanthony Quintal that everybody was expecting him to be. He faded. So in order to peak, I feel as though, my problem is, and let me just post this tweet up that I said, I think you can recognize the pervasive superficiality and toxic ideals or standards for drugs, sex, attractiveness, etc. within the LGBT community without being a crazy, holier-than-thou Christian, but I don't know. That's just me. Let's keep going. I said, honestly, this is so interesting to me, the entire situation with Lohanthony and self-loathing and religion, etc. Part of me does not trust influencers, and I think he's just doing it for clout. Like, maybe he found this, like, paint hue card thing wasn't getting engagements. Either way, if it's a clout thing, this animosity against queerness is purposeful, deliberate, which is bad. If this is genuinely Anthony now, then this is also bad. Like, not because he's ascribing to religion, but the way in which he feels religion and being a proudly queer person are mutually exclusive. So, I don't want to knock you, Anthony, in the sense that I feel as though I hope you're being authentic, but when it comes to influencers and when it comes to like this sociopathic climb to fame and to constantly have your name out there, and like when celebrities say that they took to like drugs and alcohol and stuff like that because they were not getting the high that they were used to experiencing on stage, the come down was horrible. I feel as though it's the same thing with these micro-influencers who are on YouTube and stuff, these mini-influencers who are not necessarily famous, but they have experienced some peak of fame, and now it's like, oh shit, like, it's like you need your thrill, you need that. You know, you need what that drug that gives you what you need to reach your next high, essentially, right? So if you find that you no longer have the clout you need in order to, you know, get that dopamine rush, you're gonna do something different. So what I think might be happening is Anthony said, you know what? He definitely, I feel as though he did find some type of spirituality. He went on some type of journey, some type of God-seeking thing. Okay, this is me being completely out of it because I don't want to go and research and delve into the whole Lohanthony situation. I don't want to go and look into his reasonings as to why he decided to write shit, motivational shit on paint cards. Maybe he found Allah. Maybe he fucking, like, an alien abducted him and he said, you know, I have to change my life up. I don't know. Honestly, I think it's all self-loathing. And we're gonna get into that, don't you worry. So let's say Lohanthony, honestly, I'm not even gonna use that name anymore. Let's say Anthony Quintal decided that I am not living the right way. I need to be spiritual. Why couldn't you do that privately? Why couldn't you do that on your own? Why did you decide to seek out your audience, the people in which you have built this rapport with over the years, the people that trust you, the people that value your opinion, value your voice, value your queerness, value who you represent yourself as, someone who's proud to be different, weird, feminine, flamboyant, someone who is unashamed, is just proud. You know, how do you go to that audience now with the Lohanthony branding? Okay, during your paint card era, that could have rolled, but now, girl, why are you essentially shitting on the idea of being gay and separating it from godliness and spirituality and religion and being on the right terms with the universe and with God and all these things? Why are you doing that with the branding that you built as a proudly, openly gay person?
And that's some darling tea.
That's my question. That's a real sheep-ass shit for you to do, Anthony. If you want to, like, have this spiritual journey where you're going to be mocking gay people and saying, oh, because of my same-sex attraction, because of this, I decided to pursue da-da-da-da-da-da.
On the subject of this video, my sexuality and my call to Christian celibacy. What we wanted may not be what was good for us. The solace I thought I was bred to solely find in men, a void which would later be filled by Jesus Christ. It's no coincidence that through pursuing my same-sex attraction, I was also addicted to alcohol. I was also addicted to weed. I was also trying hallucinogenics. I was also addicted to money. I was also addicted to views. I was addicted to attention. I was addicted to opportunity that earthly pleasures brought to me, when God made Adam and Eve, he saw that they were very good.
The way in which you put that out there, the way in which you express that, you might have had a different intention for that little thought nugget, but girl, that did not come out right. That's damaging. That's associating us with all of these activities that are harmful and toxic. And yes, the queer community, gay people, we are more prone to toxic things like drugs and alcohol just because of the internalized shame and self-loathing and the development of our identity that's sometimes delayed in our lives. Like we tend to have a lot of this baggage that we take out in negative ways, and that's a trend. It's not an absolute concept. It's not something that is bound to happen for all gay people or all queer people in general. For you to associate these things together and essentially say one led to another in such a way, you really need to be careful with the way in which you express these things, especially as an influencer with millions of followers and subscribers. So if you're gonna put that shit out there, if you're gonna decide to become holier than thou godly, if you're gonna ascribe to religion and say, oh, I finally, like, girl, you have to realize that religion is triggering to a lot of people in the community. Okay, we all come from upbringings that have heavy prominence in religious coding, in essentially saying that we are wrong, our existence is not right, our existence is not natural, things like that. You're gonna go on your platform. You're gonna go on your platform, a safe space for queer people. You're gonna go on your platform, you're gonna go under your branding Lohanthony, which came from Lindsay Lohan, which you don't deserve that name anymore, girl. Anthony Quintal, you're gonna go on your fucking platform and you're going to say what you said. Drop your branding. If you're so changed and different, if you made your 180, if you are a new person, cleansed, holy, spiritual, if you are who you are, drop your branding. Why are you Lohanthony? You're not Lohanthony. Stop chasing that clout. You say that being same-sex attracted, being who I am, led me to this and this and this, and attention seeking and looking for clout. Girl, you're looking for clout still, just in a different way. And you're feeling as though you're better now than you were before, but you're not, because this entire image of, oh, now that I'm godly and I'm not the gay man I was once before, you're putting yourself above who you were. And what you're doing with the image you had before, which was flamboyant and feminine, you're essentially saying, I'm better now as whatever the hell this Anthony Quintal is, versus who I was in the past. It's shameful, or it's embarrassing, or it's negative. And honestly, a lot of gay people, and I've dealt with that too, the internalized shame of being flamboyant or being more femme or being whatever. And the difference is I don't put it in a long ass video without taking the proper precautions. When I do discuss things like this, I express it as my own personal circumstance, and I remind people that it is okay to feel otherwise. When I go about discussing my trauma and my situations in dealing with femininity and in dealing with being flamboyant and growing up that way and internalizing that process of being different, or like not being able to make friends with guys because they're like afraid that they're gonna catch the big gay, or like not being able to have proper socialization without people like immediately knowing that you're queer. Like, I could never have been closeted because of the way in which I acted when I was younger. Having changed and grown and developed in a different way, and potentially having suppressed that part of my personality to be a little bit more masculine in order to survive, I've discussed this so many times, but I also ensured my viewers, my following, the people that I was speaking to, that it is still okay to be the thing that I've decided to distance myself from. It's still okay to be queer in whatever way you express queerness. To have your history on the internet, to use your branding that you came up with as this proudly queer person that is so flamboyant and so unashamed of being gay, unashamed of being Lohanthony, unashamed of the community in which you're involved in, and now contrast that with who you currently are and distance yourself from that past. You're essentially telling all of these younger children growing up nowadays in this generation that are questioning whether it's okay to be a little flamboyant, if it's okay to be feminine, if it's okay to be this and that, if it's okay to try makeup, if it's okay to act in a certain way that society tells you not to act. If it's okay to not want to ascribe to religion, or to be atheist or not believe in God, to question your parents or question their views, question society, question what your aunt and uncle tell you when you say, oh, I don't like girls, or question what they say when they say, do you have a girlfriend? Stuff like that. All these little aggressions, microaggressions, like all these kids growing up who looked up to you, all of the young adults who did look up to you in the past and see you as this foundational, pivotal person in helping shape their pride. To do all of this on that branding, that's a deconstruction of everything you built. It's devastating. It really is. And like, the sad part is, for me, I feel as though you're doing this because you feel some form of shame of who you were, and now you need to like go from one drastic side to the other, which like you don't need to do, Anthony. Like you could just be yourself. You said you were trying to fit a circle in a square. It was just impossible to be you. Do you feel as though you are you now? And I'm not knocking religion. I'm not knocking spirituality. This is not because you found religion. This is because now that you found religion, you're distancing yourself from queerness. And that's sad, right? Like, you're valid. Be who you want to be. It's just be careful with the way in which you're speaking about these things to your young audience. Anthony had a huge, huge following. Still does, okay? In some ways, idolization, celebrity, the entire concept of celebrity is a cult, okay? People worship celebrities, okay? And for some people, especially influencers in general, there are influencers on different platforms who definitely create amazing art. Yes, they are artists. I wouldn't call them influencers. They're artists with an influence. But influencers, actual social media influencers, actual people who are clout chasing, people like that. Influencers are kind of sociopathic, are looking for fame for the sake of fame, are trying to build an influence, to build a brand out of their name, their face, their image. For some people, what that does is it creates a cult leader mentality within them, I feel. Like, honestly, this whole Lohanthony thing feels very Jim Jones. Like, it feels very like, I am the only expert opinion. I'm the only expert that is able to provide my audience of sheep, my audience of groveling fans, salvation. You know what I mean? Like, it's ever since he was doing the pink Colour Hue thing, that's what rubbed me the wrong way, because it felt as though it was very fake woke. It felt as though it was like spirituality for the sake of spirituality. Like, I am Anthony Quintal and I've seen God and I've decided that I need to save all of you, so let me provide you with motivation and inspiration in the name of Jesus Christ. Like, there are ways to go about being a motivational influencer, motivational speaker. A comedic influencer in the queer community to a spiritual influencer, something ain't sitting right there. That was at the pink Colour Hue era. Like, girl, now he's just full on deep end. I don't even know. Anthony, girl, you talk about God a lot. I'm gonna say I'm praying for you, because people say that we live a sinful lifestyle, we live a toxic lifestyle, we live hateful. I don't even know why people will consider gay people hateful, but they consider us full of, like, I don't know, demonic energy. And let me tell you, the queer community is some of the kindest people on this planet, because literally, let me tell you, all we want to do is love. All we want to do is love who we love. It's all consenting. For you to inject religion and spirituality into all of this, when it's literally usually religious people who say that we're sinful and say that we're toxic and say that we're negative, and it's exhausting, and it makes you constantly question whether you are right or wrong, whether your existence is valid or not, as just a person who wants to love who they love. Girl, let me tell you, you have a lot of healing to do. I am praying for you. Anthony Quintal, you need to de-platform yourself, move away from your branding, and you need to actually, if you are a spiritual person / religious person, you need to seek out true spirituality, seek out a true connection with this universe that doesn't have to do with going to your platform and being like a born again, was a homosexual, now Christian essentially person. Like, I don't like, guys, I literally brain empty. 2020, like, I'm not surprised anymore. You've thrown us through the ringer. I wasn't even checking for you, Anthony. I wasn't even watching. I wasn't paying attention. You could have peeked and died. Like, you could have done what you had to do. You could have became like working at a casino. You could have worked at a convenience store. You could have done your thing. You could have become the next up and coming pop star. I wouldn't have even noticed. Lohanthony, honestly, I did not even remember your existence until this paint color hue shit. And until this, like, honestly, it feels clout chasey. It feels like you just wanted the clout. You just wanted to have your name on Twitter trends again. You just wanted people to talk. And if you are clout chasing, boo. If you're not clout chasing and this is you and this is what you feel like you had to do and this is where you are right now in your existence, honestly, valid. But boo. That's just grimy. If you did get conversion therapy, if someone forced you into it, or you decided because you found your spirituality, you have this internalized shame, you have this self-loathing, you gotta seek God and you want to distance yourself from queerness, you got conversion therapy. Honestly, if that is what happened, we can cancel this entire video. What I said is not important or valid anymore because that is horrible, Anthony. I'm so sorry you had to go through that, and I'm hoping you see the light. And it's so weird as a gay person to say I hope you see the light when it talks about someone who's found religion, but you clearly are just denying yourself. You clearly are just denying who you are and running from the realities of who you are. I feel as though you are ashamed of the image you created for yourself over the years, and you know, you have to be strong to be a queer person. And some people, they are strong for too long. Big part of your development was in the public eye, and I feel you've lived your entire life in flamboyancy and femininity and all these things, queerness, for so long. I feel like you're hitting a quarter-life crisis where you're wondering, is this the image I wanted to portray? Is this right? Is this wrong? And I honestly feel as though you have the audience, yes, but just because you have the audience does not mean you need to express this coming-of-age experience to the audience, because it could be damaging and harmful. And I'm only saying it because you have millions of subscribers and followers. Like, if you were just a small little artist, girl, your level of impact would be nil. I don't have any respect for you, Anthony. I never did. That's just tea. I never really liked you, and I never really cared to care about stuff because you seem malicious. But I'm praying for you, and I hope you realize that what you're doing is not inherently wrong, but the way in which you're going about it is, and you need to be careful because you have such a major audience. Girl, that's just tea. I definitely feel like I needed to talk about Anthony Quintal. We need to stop calling him Lohanthony, girl. If this is who Anthony is now, he's not Lohanthony. Period. I'm sorry. Is it my right to take away your name? It is not, but I'm gonna say it right here and now. You ain't Lohanthony. You an imposter. I'm really interested in knowing what you guys think about this entire situation. Do you have sympathy or empathy for Anthony in this situation, or do you feel as though it's just not good? Give me a like if you like this video, and subscribe to become a darling today. I react to a whole bunch of shit and all the pop girlies and everything, so you might as well subscribe and watch a couple of my other videos. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at xdxrlng to keep up with my boring shitty life. Corona. And I'll see you guys in another video. I hate making videos like this because it's just, I don't like being a downer, and I don't like coming for people. I really don't. I don't like when icons in our community, like, even if I hate them or not, when icons in our community fall, when icons in our community go through these periods of loathing, and honestly we all do, but to do it with such a large influence, that's what pisses me off. So I'll see y'all in another video. Take care, guys.